and welcome to Stella King Show. I'm your host, Miss Stella King, and we're here again. I'm so excited to be back, and I promise you it is bigger, it is better than you could ever imagine. Now, before I go on to the topic we are about to discuss and go on to our amazing guesses, first of all, for all of you out there who don't know about me, I just want to give you a quick intro and tell you what the Stella King Show is really all about. So, due to my story, the Stella King Show is about giving people's lives a meaning, making sure that you have a reason to continue living and giving you hope and giving you a future. Now, as a young girl, I was diagnosed actually at the age of 13 with kidney problems. Obviously, before that, I went through several complications in terms of health. But at the age of 13, I was diagnosed with health problems with the kidneys. And I went through a lot as a young teenager, in terms of every month missing school. And at that age, they told me by the time I was 21, I'd either die or, I'd have to have a transplant. And basically 21 came now, and here I am always telling them, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be here, that nothing's going to happen to me. And 21 came along, and all of a sudden they said it was time for dialysis. And it felt like my whole world fell apart, like there was nothing else left for me. And I was like, God, but you promised me, because I grew up in a Christian home, and I thought, but God, you promised me I wasn't going to go through this. And here I am going through it. I didn't know where to go. I literally ran out of the hospital. They were looking for me. My family was calling me. I went on my knees crying, like in church. I went to church and I just went on my knees crying to God, like, didn't you say that this wasn't going to happen? Eventually, obviously, I had to end up doing the dialysis. And I cried literally every day, every night. I yelled at my whole family, especially my mum. I took out my anger on everyone. I felt I would never get married. I'll never have kids. I'll never be able to go back to university, finish my education. Until I heard inspiring words that motivated me and told me, it doesn't matter what you've been through. You can still achieve your goals. You can still become something. You can still be who you want to be. And those words impacted my life. And from there, I was able to transform myself by my mindset, and it showed me the importance of mindset. And through that, I've been able to achieve so much up to the point here I am today now, and I'm able to have this show. So this is what the show is really all about. And if I can do it, you also can do it. Okay, great. So before we go on to our guest, the topic we'll be discussing today is about tackling challenges that young people go through. Here on the show, I have the amazing Sade. Hi, Sade. She's a youth activist and an actress. And here also, I have Lioness. And Lioness is a youth worker. Hi, guys. How are you?
Hi.
Hi, how have you been? I know you two both have amazing stories about transformation. I know your experiences of what you went through growing up wasn't easy. But please tell me, Sade, let's start with you. How did you become a youth activist and an actress?
Okay, so growing up, I grew up in Southeast London.
Okay.
I was in the lifestyle where, my cousins, they were just all over, gang affiliated, not necessarily involved, but just having that whole boisterous, family around us. Just growing up with a few girls that we used to do naughty things still. We used to beat girls up. But that was my past life. And growing up with that, I had seen a lot. A lot of deaths.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that I'd grown up with, they went into jail. And they're still in jail. So me going into youth work, that's really where it stemmed from.
Okay.
But I'll obviously delve into it more, but that's really
the start, basically, of how everything began. And
yes.
You decided to start working with young people.
Yeah. And me becoming an actress, that's the main aim, is to really put it in teens and young people so that they can be whatever they want to be.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah. So basically our motto here, you can be what you want to be.
Yes.
You can achieve your goals.
Yes.
So Sade, I understand you won X Factor once, in 2008. you know, and you were there live on TV with a group called Stance.
Yes.
So actually she's an actress. She's also a performer, as you can see. You've probably watched her and seen her on X Factor. So what happened? What made you do that?
Do you know what? It was actually because being a youth at that time was so hard. There was nothing to do. Youth clubs were just dying out. So I literally just went on the internet and I applied for X Factor.
Okay.
And I was just like, oh, let me just try and see. And two of my friends that we said, okay, let's try it out. They said, no, they can't come. Their moms, because I come from African houses, like, no, not her, no, yo.
I know what that is.
Exactly. And then I said to my other two friends, guys, let's just try, let's just see where it goes. And we were doing music for our GCSEs. So we were singing and practicing, and a lot of our friends from like the ends, our school. Oh my gosh, it was amazing, man, because no one ever thought that we would actually get that far. And I feel like that was like the start of so many things, like in Southeast London, like us going on X Factor. It just started like a ripple effect, because even like John Boyega, so many people have been inspired by so many things. But that's just
that's awesome. Okay, before we come back to Lioness, the same question: what made you decide to be a youth worker?
Obviously, I had a bad experience growing up. I grew up in a Muslim family, and obviously I was abused by my dad, and it was a bit so I was going through a lot, witnessing my mum having cancer. It was a lot for me as a young child. I just felt like something wasn't right, so I chose to leave home and go into that life of living that drug life on the road, not having anywhere to stay, rough and sleep, and going to my friends, just being on the road, being a part of the gang and all of them things there. I just feel like obviously I went through a lot of things, like knife crime. Like there was like a situation where somebody tried to throw a knife at my throat, and it was one of my best friends, and they just turned their back on me and obviously I got myself out of it. I'm just here to inspire young youth and help them out, with mental health and all these things, social media platforms. And I just feel like me as a person, I like encouraging young people. I like to educate them and help them in courses, which I am currently doing. And I like to mentor them and help them to write their visions down and goals.
Okay, so one thing you actually stated right now is that you came from an abusive home.
Yeah.
And by the abuse that you got from your father led you to go out into the streets. So how did you get involved in drugs?
So obviously, I used to be smoking when, I was finding it hard to express my feelings, and I thought smoking weed is...
Were you introduced by a friend or...?
I was introduced by friends. It was a best thing, to cure my heart. I just feel like there was a lot of wounds in there, unforgiveness, anger, everything. And I don't know what I thought. I had a lot in my heart. And I was smoking, I forget about it, smoking and forgetting about it. Then one day I was like, you know what, I don't want to do this. So... Okay.
Alright, okay. So, wow, we can hear that you both obviously have some sort of story, one of how you grew up, especially here in the UK. Mm-hmm. One of the questions I want to ask you, so in the UK recently it's been said that 1 in 4 young teenagers with young girls are always sexually harassed. I know you both have some sort of similar experiences. I don't know if you mind sharing or if it's something you don't really want to go too deep into.
For me, I can say that I have something coming out, a book, so I won't delve too much into it. But working with youths that have experienced this, it comes from a place it hurts. Especially for women not to have a safe space for them to talk about it. I feel that's where the work needs to be done.
Okay.
And for the perpetrators as well, as to why they are doing this and what's made them feel that it's okay to do this. Not necessarily feel it's okay, but what's triggered them to do this?
To act like this.
You know? So there's a lot of work that needs to be done, and there's a lot of healing that needs to be done.
Like, I saw recently a video going viral, and it was about what was it, a conductor or something, was it, or one of these traffic people that give tickets out. He was actually at a schoolgirl's school, and he was waiting for her, a 15-year-old, and he had been texting her, you know, so you could see that. I know growing up I experienced that anyway. They were always trying.
That's the thing. There's so much that needs to be talked about. It's because youths are at home, you know, without their mum because she's working 3, 4, 5 jobs.
Yeah.
You know, so there's no one looking after these. So like Lioness was saying, she went out there to look for something because there's nothing. Like I said, I went out there to look for X. Thankfully, I found X Factor.
Yeah.
But I have a son now.
Yeah.
But before that, kids are out looking for things because the house is broken.
Yeah.
And they just end up in the hands of people that have, unfortunately, most of the perpetrators that you talk to, they have faced some really, and it's not necessarily sexual, sometimes they've physical abuse, verbal abuse, just so many things.
And they just really literally are looking for solution answer, and the way they see it is
sometimes it's not even, it's just a way of projecting their frustration and how they've just been dealt with in life. Yeah. Because there's men that are old and they're still paedophiles.
I know, tell me about it.
So it's like...
What do you do? What is the solution? What is the answer? Now, Linus, I understand also you have a son as well, and you got, if you don't mind me saying, you got married quite a young age by force. Could you please elaborate on this, please?
So, when I was younger, obviously I was 16, I went on the road, and then basically my family's like, oh, we're not going to accept you back in unless you get married.
At 16?
Yeah, like around...
In the UK?
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I got back, like around 17ish, so got married to this guy who wanted like a British passport, and they gave £5,000.
And did you not feel like you could do anything about it at that time?
I didn't really do anything.
Did you not feel like maybe I should go to the police, or were you not informed, or you just felt you just had to follow through with what your parents said?
I had to follow through what my parents said.
Were you not informed that you could actually go to the police and report this matter to them? Did no one let you know?
No.
So you had no idea?
No. So yeah, obviously he was abusing me. I had like a miscarriage. He was drinking, smoking.
So you actually married him at this point?
Yeah, it's called a nikah.
Nikah, oh, okay.
Yeah,
so it wasn't legal.
Legally,
it wasn't okay,
legal.
I see.
So I after like 2 months I decided to leave. I said to him, no, I can't go through this relationship, and I told my family this was wrong of you, I don't want to be here. So I ended up leaving Leeds, and obviously I met Malachi's dad on the road. Like 2 years I was...
So this is someone else. So you ended up leaving the other guy you were forced to marry, and then you ended up meeting your son's dad on the road. So were you back on the streets again?
Yeah, I was back on the streets.
Okay.
And obviously I was looking for like a road man, whatnot, and obviously found him after like a couple of years of knowing him. I decided to be pregnant with my son.
So it was a decision you made?
Yeah.
Did you feel that was the only way you could get something, or did you feel you wanted comfort? What was your reason for taking that decision?
I wanted comfort at the same time, and I really liked abuse.
You liked abuse?
Yeah, I liked abuse because what my dad did to me and because what the ex did to me.
So that's all you knew?
Yeah. Abuse.
So you felt that's what you needed?
Yeah.
Wow.
I felt like so lost. So I had my son, and when I had my son in the hospital, they told me that his heartbeat stopped, and I literally fell on my knees and I said, God, if Jesus is your son, let my son's heartbeat come back. And it came back, and everyone was looking at me surprised. I was like, nothing happened, you just got to bring my son back to life. And like me and him, like I've gone to a mother and baby placement, and like there was this woman that she was really racist against me. She said, "Oh, your son is dark skinned, you can't get him back, he's gonna get adopted." And she was drinking hold my son with one hand, and she said, "I want to put you in a mental hospital." She called the police. What happened was the social worker came and said that don't do that to her. She doesn't have mental health, she doesn't have anything wrong with her. And the next minute, me and my son witnessed. I said to her, I don't want to come to watch her mum dying with cancer, because her cancer was coming out. And you could literally smell the whole room. It was cancerous.
Now, in terms of this youth work now that you do, is that what really led you to decide, you know what, I actually want to be a youth worker, get involved in social work as well?
Yeah.
Because I understand you're looking to do a degree in that, or course in social work, isn't it?
Yeah.
Why? Because you want to obviously help other people, other young people who went through the similar situation that you went through. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yes. So, Sade, what would you like to say to any young person that is watching this? What advice would you give them?
For every young person out there, I will say that people want you for what's inside of you. They don't want you for who you are. So develop your gifts, develop your skills, develop everything that's inside of you so that you can be a great asset when you are around people. Stay prepared. You are of most value when you develop yourself, and you know, you are the best version of yourself.
Thank you, Sade, for that. And Lioness, what would you like to say to any young lady out there, young teenager who may possibly be going through what you went through? What advice would you like to give them now?
Well, I would like to give a word of encouragement and say, you know what, keep your head held high, look beyond your past, and you know, you got a better life that's coming. You know, set yourself goals, keep motivated. You have a vision, write your goals down, because remember, like, you have to know what's inside of you. You know, there's a lioness rising in every woman, and you know,
I love that.
If there's a woman that's going through a court case or left her family in forceful marriage, I'll just say, you know, go and seek help. You know, there's people out there that could help you. There's people that can encourage you. There's people that can uplift you. You know, it's good to take that big, bold step. You know, it's hard. I know it's hard, but you don't have to, you know, let your family take control over you, because you have a choice to make, and that choice you make can impact a whole nation, can impact the whole community. And as for the youth, I'll just say, even if the young women are going through courts, I'll just say, don't give up. I mean, there's hope there, there's prayer, you know, that they could pray, you know, to God, and God hears our prayers. I know sometimes like we feel like he's not answering, but he always answers us. You know, pray that your child can go to a better community, you know, where, you know, they're good people and a good family, and always pray about the situation, because there's power in confession. And in terms of young people, I would say, don't go to drugs. Don't go.
You heard that, guys? Don't go into drugs.
Don't jump out of the gang life, and you know, like, don't associate yourself with the wrong company. So I just feel like, as well, like, I just feel like they should stay encouraged, you know, keep goals and what they want in life, and just write it all down.
Okay.
Like what they want to achieve.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sade, and thank you so much, Lioness. It's been amazing having you guys here.
Thank you.
And hopefully we'll have you again once again.
Of course.
Thank you. Okay, guys, so we're just going to go on a quick break and we'll be back.